Puerto Plata is a city of 250,000 people located on the northern coast of the Dominican Republic. Tourists from Europe and America flock to Puerto Plata every year to enjoy its beaches and resorts. Most never see the poor areas of the city, where many Dominicans live on less than $5 a day. They come for the nightlife and leave the city in worse shape than when they found it. Many women and girls in Puerto Plata are so desperate for survival that they sell themselves to tourists. It's not uncommon for men to buy young girls from families and sell them as sex slaves. And many tourists come to Puerto Plata for weeks at a time for the sole purpose of buying the services of girls. Other children are put on the streets because families can't afford to raise them. It's typical in Puerto Plata for a family to be without a father. The mother's desperation leads her to prostitution. Sometimes the family even begins with prostitution. Because the women are uneducated about birth control, many of them are frequently pregnant. When a baby is born, his older brothers or sisters are put on the streets and left to fend for themselves. There are about 1,800 orphaned children living on the streets of Puerto Plata. These abandoned children must be given a safe and loving home where the gospel is central to all of life, and we want to provide that for them.
I live here in the Dominican Republic in Puerto Plata, and we have an incredible opportunity to serve the people here in Puerto Plata, to love on them, to help them in social ways, and to just be involved in their life on a daily basis. And what a great opportunity it is to have the chance to just share with you one story about a little girl named Aranza. Aranza is 12 years old right now. She is the daughter of a woman who is very sick. She's sick because of disease that she's obtained through her job of prostitution. And Aranza has the world and has her community pulling at her to go in that direction, and she has friends who are involved in prostitution. Many of them her age or a year older. Several of her friends at 13 years old have babies because of the life of prostitution, and it is just a very difficult battle for her to fight every day. And I would just want to share that we have come around Aranza, and we are trying to walk with her on a regular basis, give her some support in her good choices, her desire for something other than that for herself.
Mi nombre es Aranza, vivo con mi madre y mis hermanos. Yo vivo en este barrio y realmente estoy muy contenta con lo que Dios ha hecho en mi vida. Cuando yo sea grande quiero ser maestra.
Dominicans need the gospel. They need to hear of the hope found only in Christ. So we want to partner with local churches to train families in ministering the gospel to children by providing foster care. Our goal is to build a foster care village where families take in the children from the orphanage and give them homes and family structure and teach them to thrive in all areas of life. Many orphans turn to drugs or even suicide because they are unable to function in a healthy way in society.
My name is Antonio Luciano de Jose. My dad is a Dominican. At first when he left me, I was using drugs, and I was drinking rum and smoking weed. Then my mom and I had some problems, and I went to a center. In the center, I did like 11 months in the center, and I was only going to church, and God changed my life. So I do 11 months without drugs or nothing. And God, He's someone who can really help us. God bless you.
It's common to hear Dominicans say that God is someone who can help them. They see God as this cosmic helper being who lives in the distance. What most of them don't realize is that God is near, and help comes through the gospel. We want to continue to build relationships with these forgotten kids and share with them that Jesus is the giver of life and help. He is their hope for a better future. The children of the Dominican Republic are not the only ones who have been forgotten. The DR shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti. Because of the corrupt Haitian government and poor living conditions, many Haitians have sought refuge in the DR. The problem was only magnified by the earthquake that hit Haiti in January of 2010. But there is a terrible hatred that exists between Dominicans and Haitians. Most Haitians are forced to live in the city's poorest areas like Aguas Negras. Here, surrounded by the city's water waste, Haitian women and children live on almost nothing. Many of the women are prostitutes. Most of the children are sick. Other Haitians are forced to live outside the city, high in the hills away from civilization. Disease is all too common in these villages. Haitians need the gospel, and we are called to take it to them. We want to be instruments of reconciliation between Dominicans and Haitians, and more importantly, we want to take the good news of reconciliation between God and man to them, so that all the people of Puerto Plata can live in peace and work together to take the gospel to the rest of the island. Our goals aren't small, but neither is our God, and we believe that it's His desire for us to call Dominicans and Haitians to worship Him and let Him transform the face of Puerto Plata. Partnerships are already being formed, and God is moving to accomplish His plan, a plan for hope and a future for the people of the Dominican Republic.
Medio dos luceros que cuando los abro perfecto distingo